Hi, I'm Jen Spencer, and this is Jen Spencer's 10-Minute Book Club. Hi, readers. Happy summer. I hope you're having a great July. This is my one and only book club in July because I know everybody's got a million other things they need to do this summer. But tonight, my three daughters and my daughter-in-law are going to talk about our favorite romantic comedies as far as movies go. So I know you're going to love it. We had so much fun talking about it, and you're going to get some great ideas for some new movies that maybe you haven't seen. Please be sure to go to my website, jenspencerbooks.com, and sign up for my newsletter because you'll be able to download a free book. And also remember, my newest book, Maggie and Max, comes out in October. And in a couple of weeks, it will be up for pre-order, and you're going to really love that one. It's my new Western, Cowboys of the Butterfly Ranch series. So I hope you'll check it out. Now I'm so excited to have my daughters and daughter-in-law with me. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to have my four, I'd like to call you my daughter too, Kennedy, four daughters out of the five. We are here to talk about our top 5 favorite romantic comedies. And I was telling Kate, Jessica, I could not narrow it down to my top 5. I mean, I have my top 5, but I can't narrow it down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to do my best. And so
in no
Haley,
particular order, Mom.
yeah, maybe we could do that. Haley, since you were not with us last time, why don't you go first? You give us your top 5 from 5 to 1.
Was I not with you last time? Doesn't matter. Here I am.
You were sick.
Oh yeah. I think you were
But did
sick.
we do the Muppets in between?
No, and then we did our top 5 favorite Jane Austen.
Oh, and I was in my first trimester.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, hi, my mom's fans. I am Haley, and I am very pregnant. I am 3 weeks away from my due date. So
Woo-hoo!
You just want me to list them off, huh?
Yeah, so start at 5, and we can talk about it if we want. We can argue if we want. We usually don't argue, so
Okay.
Oh no, we heckle.
we heckle.
Definitely heckle.
It's so hard. I feel like I know what my top 4 are, and my 5 is like a 4-way tie, so I should probably narrow that down. But I think I will say
You can
that
give us some honorable mentions if you want.
okay. I'll give honorable mentions at the end, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, so my 5th, I think I would say My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Ooh.
I love that movie. I think it's like more on the calm side than the rom side, but I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. That has one of my top, that part where she talks about her twin that's in her neck. I laughed. I don't think I've ever laughed that hard in the theater before. I laughed so hard.
I think it's like a very, very funny movie. And yeah, and one like I could watch over and over. So it's kind of how I distinguish these, I think. And then I would say my 4th, and this might be kind of out of the blue. I don't know if anyone else would put this, but I put Crazy Stupid Love. I love that movie. I think it's hilarious. You've got intergenerational rom and com, and not to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but at the end, like all these threads. You haven't seen it, Mom?
I have not seen it.
That's one with Jake Gyllenhaal, right? And Steve
Ryan
Carell.
Gosling.
Oh, Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, and it is so
the
fun.
Scene, that last scene with all the family is maybe the greatest scene of a movie.
Together, I think it's like one of the most satisfying, hilarious endings of any.
Okay, I'm gonna have to see that one.
It's very funny.
Put it on your list. Steve Carell is worth the whole watch himself, so it's darling. And then for my 3rd, I think I would say What's Up, Doc?
Oh yeah.
Dry Sand. I don't know if that's on anyone else's.
Yes, it
Great
is.
one.
Okay, good. That's also more calm than Rom probably too, but I love it. That movie has everything.
It's such a classic.
Oh my gosh.
Eunice?
There's a person
There's a person named Eunice?
Yeah, that's one I've probably watched maybe the most out of all of these on this list because I love it. And a lot of people haven't heard of it, so I love being the person to introduce them to What's Up, Doc.
That's
you
so
know?
good. Yeah.
And then my number 2 and my number 1 are very close, but number 2 I put You've Got Mail. It's so good. I mean, it's just classic. And I think it's like incredibly romantic. You know, when he figures out who she is and starts to like woo her, and she doesn't want to believe it's him, but she does. And Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan have incredible chemistry, which is why they do like 10,000 movies together.
Yeah.
But my number 1 is While You Were Sleeping. It's just the winner. I could watch it 100 times and just never get bored of it. Sandra Bullock at her peak, just hilarious.
Oh, Sandra Bullock, I adore her. She is
adore her
favorite actresses,
and it's very romantic too.
Oh, like, so romantic.
I love it.
Yes.
So that's my number 1. I have some honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I have The Big Sick. If anyone's seen that,
I haven't seen that one.
On my list, but not top 5.
I would recommend. It's a true story, which is like extra amazing.
Ooh, okay.
And it's hilarious and heartwarming and sad and so good. So I'd recommend that one. My Best Friend's Wedding. I love that movie.
Is that the one that's with Julia Roberts, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it like is a rom-com, but like kind of not, because again, not to spoil.
And Cameron Diaz.
Yeah. They don't end up together. And then my third honorable mention is Enchanted, if you can call that a rom-com.
Oh,
absolutely.
It's more like a Disney movie, but I freaking love that movie too.
Giselle!
It's got romance and
we'll be married in the morning.
And musical numbers and talking chipmunks. What more could you want?
I know. That is that one I went in with very low expectations and I loved it. That's such a good one. Such a good one. Well, okay, Kate, do you want to go?
Sure. I really struggled with this because there is like a classic romantic comedy, and then there's like some like just on the outskirts that I'm like, well, what else would you put them in? Like, what else would you put them in? And I love them so much. So like the list just got really long. It's long. So I did my best and to pick a 5, but nobody hold me to it. Nobody like come up on the street and be like, but you said this was top 5 and you forgot this. I'm
gonna make you a t-shirt, Kate, of your top 5.
Don't make me a t-shirt of my top 5 because it's not real. Coming in at number 5 because it's on the outskirts of a rom-com is Moonrise Kingdom. I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan. I think that movie is so good.
Well, that did have some romance in it, and that was adorable.
I just love it. My first 2, 5 and 4 are like outskirts, and then I had to save the top 3 for like true romantic comedies. Number 4 is Sing Street.
Oh, I love that movie.
Favorite of all time.
If that counts as a rom-com, that's in my top.
It's so good. Anyway, kind of on the outskirts, but I don't know where else you'd put it because it is very funny, but also
if you haven't seen that movie, it's a must. It's an absolute must.
Yeah, that's kind of obscure, but so cute.
It's like $3 to rent. It's worth all the dollars.
It is.
I love that movie.
You need a good coming of age story.
Good call, Kate.
I told Ryan it was on my list. He's like, no, that's about brothers. I was like, well, yeah, but also it's a rom-com.
It is also about wooing a girl, you know?
Okay, number 3. This one's controversial, but Pretty Woman. I love that movie so much. And I've always loved it. And I've always like been like, oh, should I love this movie? Yes, it's fantastic. It is so romantic.
Yes.
It's so funny. It's so satisfying. It's the perfect formula.
I think it's the best. I think it's the best Julia Roberts movie ever.
It's so good.
I don't think she's made a better movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so good.
Really good.
2 or 3 could be switched, but 13 going on 30. Also so romantic.
Is that the one?
Fun. That's Jennifer Gardner.
Jennifer Gardner.
Oh yeah.
She goes back to she goes to being 30 at 13.
Mark Ruffalo.
Yes, Friends to Lovers is one of my favorite tropes. Just so good. It's just great. One. She's so good at playing a teenager. It's just wonderful. Yeah. And then my number 1 is While You Were Sleeping. I love that. It is the perfect romantic comedy. It has to be number 1. If it's not number 1 on your list, you're wrong. And other than that, a few honorable mentions. Miss Congeniality. It almost made my list, but honestly, it's one of my favorite movies. But the chemistry is so bad in that movie. Like the romance is so
it
bad.
takes a while. It's very little.
You don't watch it for the romance, even though it is considered a romantic comedy. It's a great movie.
You just watch it for her.
Yeah, the
it's just for Sandra. So yeah.
And then my other honorable mention is not a movie, but it's the 2nd season of Fleabag, which is, if you're gonna go take my word, it's very adult. So don't watch that TV show unless you're comfortable with very adult things. But it is so funny and so romantic, and I love it so much.
Maybe the most romantic.
Yeah, it would have been my number 1, but it doesn't really count.
Yeah, it's not a movie. Get out of here.
There you go. There's my list.
Good list, Kate. Man, you thought of a lot that I didn't even think of. Well, maybe this will be on someone's list, but it reminded me of that other Mark Ruffalo, Reese Witherspoon.
Oh yeah, Heaven. What is it? What's it called?
Just Like Heaven.
Just Like Heaven.
Yeah. I'm adding that to my honorable mentions. I love that movie too.
I thought it was super romantic, but I just could not believe the premise.
Mom has a really hard time suspending belief.
Yes.
Mom, About Time almost made my list, and you don't like time travel. So.
Yeah, and that is, if that's considered
Mom,
a rom-com, I'm adding that too.
We'll circle back to this when you do your list, but I have a feeling there's a movie on there that I don't know if people will agree it's even a romance.
Okay.
So can't wait to heckle her.
Okay.
Yeah, don't talk about movies you can't believe the premise of.
Okay. Well, okay. You tell me what you think when I give you my list. Okay, yeah. Kennedy, give us your list.
Okay. So, yeah, just a premise. These are just movies I like. Other people might not think they are the best.
Kennedy, we're making you a t-shirt. We're making you a t-shirt.
We're making you a t-shirt.
You don't like these movies, you're dumb.
Yeah. Oh no, wait, I think my list almost okay, there we go. Okay, so number 5 is Dan in Real Life, because
I love that
movie. And we always quote, "You are a murder of love." So that's in our household, we quote that all the time. So
that movie is so good.
Is that the one that's with Steve Carell, right? And the bowling.
That's also kind of a double romance too.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Yeah, different
layers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I love that one. Number 4 is 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh,
Heath Ledger. I mean, come on.
It's on my really long list.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's so good.
That's that's based on a Shakespeare play.
It is.
Yes.
But he did it better.
Yeah,
I mean Shakespeare.
If you see him, you're just like, okay, I'm in. So then the other one I did was, number 3 is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Classic.
So good.
Good one. I like She's the Man. That's number 2.
Oh, yeah, She's the Man. That's also Shakespeare.
Also a Shakespeare, Ken. You're really.
I'm into Shakespeare. So there you go. We didn't know that, but
you're cultured, Kennedy. Very
if number
cultured.
1 is Clueless, then yeah, you've really got years.
Well, I love that one. That She's the Man. That's one of my honorable mentions. I love Amanda Bynes, and I just think it's so charming. Channing
She's
Tatum,
such an underrated comedian.
Yeah.
She's so funny.
She's
so funny.
And she's so good at playing both parts. She's so believable. She's just really good.
Yeah.
So I have like two that tied for number one. So
Nice.
I actually put About Time because we just watched that, and I'm like, yeah, it's one of my favorites now. Like I love it.
It's so
So
good and so
good.
romantic. Mary's
Yes.
List is my favorite. It's so
so
good.
romantic. It's hilarious. Like
And you
just all the
cry
you
too, like
cry.
a lot.
Yes, it's like all the feelings, all the feels are just in that movie. So that was like number one. But also, me and Tyler, we've always loved this movie, but Crazy Rich Asians is like our all-time favorite movie. We've watched it for like every anniversary, and like we just love it. It's so good. It's
I
hilarious.
always get a kick out of the fact that Tyler likes that movie.
Oh, he loves it. He loves it. So
That is a great movie. It's so romantic too.
yeah.
On my list.
Yeah.
Believable and everything. I love that one too.
So and it's pretty funny. So there you go. That's my
Hmm.
list.
It
Oh.
is.
Good list.
That is a great list.
Thank you.
Okay, Jess.
Okay. So I have a few honorable mentions that haven't been mentioned, but a couple that have. My Big Fat Greek Wedding, that was mentioned. That might be the only one, actually. I also really love Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore.
Classic.
And The Wedding Planner with Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good
I
one.
forget that one and Made in Manhattan.
Yes.
J-Lo
Oh,
rom-coms that
that's
are like up there for me.
Yes.
Yeah,
we
I think
could
The
watch
Wedding
that.
Planner is her best romantic comedy. It's so good.
It's so
Oh,
cute.
it's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Good chemistry.
Another one is Bringing Up Baby with Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant. More comedy than romance, but it's just so good.
Oh, that's a great one.
Her like hobbling around on her one shoe that she yeah.
I was
Anyway,
going
I
on
love
the
that.
side of the
The
hill.
remake being What's Up, Doc?
True.
So it made the list.
On the
Yes.
same name.
Another one that's not a comedy but is so romantic, but I just have to talk about it, is The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner. It's not funny, but I just wanted to talk
I was like,
about it
doesn't
because
count.
no, because
Very
it's just so romantic.
Yeah, no, it is.
But yeah, number 5 for me is What's Up, Doc, for sure.
Good.
I just love that movie so much.
That's good.
That is another one talking about movies where like the end scene tying everything together is just hilarious, right? It's the judge is so funny.
Courtroom scene is
The court, yes,
Scene is perfection. Okay, fine. No rush.
and then number 4, none of you have said this, which I'm shocked. It will be on Mom's list. I know it will be. Is Hitch.
It's gonna be on Mom's list.
Yeah,
It is.
I didn't put it on my list.
Hitch is so good. And I don't know if it's because my husband, if we had a movie made about our lives, Kevin James would play my husband. But everything about him in that movie is so, when he chucks his inhaler, when he's like standing there and Will Smith like puts the pen in his pocket. It's just, and I don't even really like the Will Smith half of it so much, but I just love like Allegra Cole and him. I just think it is so funny.
Oh, some of my favorite. Well, that's a movie I could watch over and over again, like your Crazy Rich Asians. I could just watch that over and over again. I love it, and it's Kevin James and Will Smith together.
And
They
Will
are
Smith. It's very
hilarious.
funny.
Yeah, they're
Very funny.
Hilarious.
Very, very funny. So that's number 4. Number 3, we talked about this we've talked about this in a previous book club, is Ever After. It's kind of a comedy, but I don't know. Anyway, I just love Ever After.
It definitely has some really funny moments.
Yes, moments. So I don't know if it counts as a real rom-com, but it's one of my very favorite romantic movies of all time. And then number 2, You Got Mail, which has been mentioned before, and number 1, While You Were Sleeping, still.
The Beckstrand sisters have the same number 1. Sorry,
It is so.
Your number 1s are good too, but
I guess I better watch it so I can like get on board. I don't know. I like it, but
yeah, Kennedy's just so much younger than we are that she.
well, we watched that movie in our household like 20 times a day.
All the time.
So, yeah.
Well, and
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think what I love so much about that movie is just like how much their family falls in love with her too.
Yeah.
And so it's not like when she has to tell them the truth, it's not just like to this guy, but it's like to everybody, and how they like don't even care. They love her so much. And I don't know, Joe Fusco Jr. is his name. I just think he's the funniest little like side. I don't know. It's just everything about it is so good.
Oh, that movie, I fell in love with Bill Pullman as an actor because I have to say we had the video and when you guys were at school, I would fast forward to my favorite parts. And one of my favorite parts is when he proposes to her and he puts the ring in the little, compartment.
Thing.
She's like, I can't. And he just looks so crushed. And I don't know, I thought, oh, just a little muscle has moved in his face and he just looks like he's so sad. Yeah. Oh, I love that movie.
It's so good. It's so good.
But okay. Well, that's a great list too. Okay, so here's my list. Honorable mention is She's the Man.
Yeah.
I just love that one. And another honorable mention is also by Amanda Bynes, Snow White and the Seven Dorks. And I don't know why I love that.
Sydney White Mom.
Sydney White, that's right. Sydney White and the Seven Dorks. I
love that movie. I knew it was gonna be on your list. I love that.
Me too. You've watched it about 1,000 times. It's very good.
So this is where it gets tricky, but I think I have to say What's Up Doc is also honorable mention.
Ooh, hot take.
Because number 5 is Lars and the Real Girl. Would you guys
if that counts, yeah. That's in like my top 10 favorite movies of all time. So
yeah, mine too. It's another Ryan Gosling. And readers, if you have not seen that movie, you need to go see it. It is so heartwarming and it's just beautiful. Anyway,
yeah, so that's like a movie that like shifted my perspective on life. I love that movie.
I do too. Number 4 is Bringing Up Baby with Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant. Oh my goodness, they were just the classic. And so I remember just when he'd follow that dog in and out of the house, and I just laughed so hard. It just made me laugh. Number 3 is Farmer's Daughter, which is an oldie with Loretta Young and Joseph Cotton, I think. That is one of my all-time favorite movies. It is so cute and so romantic and just darling. Anyway, number 2 is Hitch, because I love Hitch.
Number 2 is Flat Baby.
And number 1 is While You Were Sleeping.
Oh my gosh, 4 out of 5. Kennedy, change your top one.
Have you seen it, Kennedy?
Yeah, I really like it. I just didn't really think of it. Like, there were just other ones that came first, and so I was like,
all right.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all right. We won't hold
Kennedy,
it.
Kennedy, it's fine because we could only watch like 3 movies on Sunday in our house, and so we probably watched that 800 times growing up.
Yes, and they watched
and it's just that good. And it holds up today. It is still that good.
Oh, it's so good. Yes. Well, that is so great. So readers, I hope you have a few new romantic movies, comedies to watch, because I think these are all great, and we could just go on forever. There are so many wonderful romantic comedies out there. So
I love it.
Well, girl, thank you so much for being with me. Haley, by the time that this podcast or this recording goes onto Facebook, Haley will have had her baby, so we'll keep you updated. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here.